In the heart of the cursed Blackwood forest, there stands a mansion untouched by time, a place where the living dare not tread, a haunting presence. It lingers amidst the whispering trees, an unspoken terror that chills the marrow of your bones. This is Blackwood Manor, a name whispered in hushed tones and fearful glances. One day, a letter arrived, an invitation sealed with a dark crimson wax. The recipient, a woman of considerable courage, trembled as she broke the seal and unfolded the parchment. The fine script danced before her eyes, inviting her to a gathering at the mansion. It was an invitation not to be taken lightly, for it bore the notorious address of Blackwood Manor. As the words sank in, her heart pounded like a drum in her chest. The invitation was an ominous harbinger of events yet to unfold, a darkened path that beckoned her towards the unknown. It all began with an unexpected invitation, an invitation that would change her life forever. As she arrived at the mansion, the rain poured relentlessly, drenching her to the bone. The ominous silhouette of Blackwood Manor stood before her. Its towering spires and pointed arches whispered tales of a long-forgotten past, its secrets locked away behind its age-old stone facade. As she took in the sight, a shiver of unease crawled up her spine, a cold foreboding that this place was more than it seemed. The wind howled, the trees shook, and the mansion loomed, its dark windows watching her like countless, unblinking eyes. She hesitated, the invitation in her hand growing heavier with each passing second. The rain beat down on her, each drop a cold reminder of the reality she was stepping into. With a deep breath, she pushed open the creaking door, the sound echoing ominously in the quiet night. She stepped inside, leaving the storm behind, but stepping into a storm of a different kind. The ominous silhouette of Blackwood Manor stood before her. Inside, she found herself among strangers, their faces concealed by eerie masks. Their attire, although elegant, bore an unsettling aura of antiquity, as though they were phantoms of a forgotten era. The mansion's walls seemed to hum with their whispered conversations, secrets spoken in hushed tones, their words dancing on the edge of her understanding. Their chatter filled the mansion's grand hall, a symphony of murmurs that spoke of a pact, a promise made centuries ago, a promise that had bound them all, a curse that had been passed down through generations, like a dark heirloom. It was a tale as old as the manor itself, whispered among the guests like a forbidden lullaby. Her eyes were drawn to an old dusty portrait hanging prominently on the wall. It depicted a family from a bygone era, their faces stern and their eyes hollow. A chilling realization washed over her. The people in the portrait bore a striking resemblance to the masked guests around her. They whispered of a centuries-old pact and a curse that bound them all. As the night wore on, the mansion revealed its true nature. The air, thick with apprehension, was pierced by the tick-tock of a grandfather clock, each tick a reminder of the fleeting safety. In the blink of an eye, normalcy faded into oblivion, replaced with a chill that seeped into every corner of the room. Shadows began to dance on the walls, twisting and twirling in a macabre ballet. Where there should have been silence, whispers filled the air, a symphony of hushed tones that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere all at once. The once grand hallways of Blackwood Manor began to echo with sounds that belonged not to this world, but to another, far more sinister realm. The guests, once jovial, were now prisoners to their own fear, their laughter replaced by gasps, their smiles by wide-eyed terror. As the night unfolded, the mansion's true nature was laid bare. Unearthly cries echoed through the hallways, and the guests grew more and more panicked. Alone, she ventured deeper into the mansion, searching for answers. The rooms, once grand, now lay shrouded in decay and heavy with the scent of age-old secrets. Among the dust and shadows, she unearthed ancient journals, their pages filled with cryptic symbols and tales of a curse woven into the very fabric of Blackwood Manor. As her fingers traced the faded ink, the words seemed to whisper the mansion's sinister past to her. Hidden passages unveiled themselves, revealing a labyrinth within the mansion's bowels. Each turn took her further into the heart of the mystery, the mansion's chilling secret beckoning her onward. As she navigated the twisting corridors, the mansion seemed to breathe around her, echoing with the whispers of its forgotten inhabitants. Each room held a piece of the puzzle, each corridor a new terror. Yet she pressed on, her determination unwavering, her resolve hardened against the creeping dread that threatened to consume her. With each step she took, the curse's grip tightened. The halls of Blackwood Manor were no longer just a gloomy labyrinth of the forgotten past. They had turned into a deadly maze, haunted by malevolent forces that lurked in the darkness. Each tick of the ancient clock echoed through the eerie silence, a grim reminder of the fleeting time. Gathering every ounce of her courage, she raced against these unseen tormentors. The chilling whispers grew louder, the spectral shadows lengthened, the air thickened with an impending doom. The mansion, once a grand symbol of opulence, now seemed alive, its very walls breathing with an unspeakable terror. As she reached the front door, the promise of freedom just within her grasp, it slammed shut on its own. Trapped, the eerie laughter of the manor echoed in her ears. The shadows danced in triumph. She had to find a way out before it was too late.